I'm feeling more lonely, in need of companionship lately. How can I remedy that? Um, Loneliness is an illusion. Because you're never really alone. Um, it's the lack of recognition that makes you feel the effects or makes you feel lonely. What I mean by that? When when God becomes old news, or when God doesn't become as your sole source of everything, when God begins to fail in your mind to be enough, you begin to look for other stuff. You begin to look for stuff in the rough. That's what happens. God doesn't want you to find stuff in the rough when He's enough. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is, when He is not your ultimate companion, you begin to long. Now, it's a difference between being human and being overly human. Being human, you're gonna naturally have moments when you're gonna be like, God, I really would like somebody. But you gotta understand the difference between Eve and Jesus, Eve and Adam and Jesus. When they had the opportunity to not do it, they did it. When Jesus had the opportunity not to do it, he did it. You see what I'm saying? So when Adam and Eve had the opportunity not to do it, but did it, they bit from the tree, they ate from it, disobeyed God, and look where they end up. They found themselves separated from God. But because Jesus didn't want, he said it like it's evident. He says, if it be thy will, take this cup from me. But before the sentence was finished, he says, but not my will, thine will. That's when you know you in a realistic, thriving relationship with God. When you're able to say, God, if you can take this cup of singleness from me, take it from me. But God, in the same breath, not my will, but thine will. That's when you know you in a healthy relationship with God, because you're human. You're going to be human. You're going to have human moments. Jesus had a human moment. He was like, man, take this cup from me. He was sweating drops of blood, which is the extreme form of stress. So meaning that he didn't really want to do that. But he had enough connection with the Father that was evident in him, often going to the mountain to pray, often going alone to pray, often separating from disciples to go pray. He had such a close fellowship with the Father that when he was weak, that before that sentence was finished, before the ink dried, when you thought that was a period, it turned into a semicolon, and he said, not my will, but thine will. You remedy that by making God your remedy. And when God becomes enough for you and God becomes everything for you, then when you have weak moments, there's something of substance in you. There's something of God's faithfulness towards you that makes you look at that sentence and say, but God, not my will, thine will. So you got to ask yourself, what was the conceptions, what conceived, what got married, came together and conceived this thought in your mind? Why do you feel alone? Has God lost his beauty to you? Has God lost his awe to you? Have you lost an awareness of your uniqueness? Because those who allow God's perfect love to cast out the fear in their heart are productive people. Perfect love makes you productive because you're backed by love. It's easy to be productive when you got endorsers. And because God is your greatest endorser, it motivates you to work without pressure of funding it yourself because you already have a funder. And when you understand that, you will say, you know what? I'm not going to allow this moment of weakness to weaken myself for a season. I'm going to actually embrace the love of God and get productive in my purpose. That will distract you from being lonely because you'll recognize I'm not alone. Okay, God, you here? What's up? What can we do? But when God no longer becomes enough, you start looking for the wrong stuff in the rough. Listen, you are the diamond in the rough. He don't want you looking for diamonds in rough. You was a diamond in the rough that he got out and brought within his presence to let you know, or is trying to reveal to you how enough he is for you, that he's enough for you in this singleness, and that he's working on your boo thing. He's working on your boo as he's working on you. So as he's working on your boo and working on you, work on what he wants you to do, and you'll be all right, boo. I had to put no offense. My wife's my only boo. I was just putting that for the rhyme scheme. You know what I'm saying? So my fault about that. But you feel what I'm trying to say. Hope that helped.